If you're suffering from hair loss, slow growth, or excessive shedding, I have solutions for you. These 5 science-backed strategies are guaranteed to get you to long, healthy, luscious hair that is resilient, full of body, full of shine, and thicker than what you thought possible. Now, I had a massive haircut in December, and shortly after that haircut, I got my hair put into this style. This is a video just 4 weeks after I got that style installed, and you can see my hair has grown clearly over an inch after implementing this 5-step protocol. You guys might be saying, girl, it's genetics, or these are twists, it looks really loose, but I braid the base of all of my twists to ensure that they last me a long time, because I do like to keep my hairstyles in for at least 6 weeks. Now, before y'all say, Zara, it's genetics, here's my sister's hair when she got her major haircut. You can see she cut off about 4 to 5 inches of damaged hair. This is what she was left with after the cut. Now, I put her on this regimen as well so she could recover her hair as quickly as possible, and these are the results. As you can see, after just about 4 months, she's retained roughly 3 to 4 inches of new hair. If that's not proof that this works, then I don't know what is. Our hair doesn't normally grow at these rates, but our dedicated approach to our hair care and our scalp care has definitely made it look like we've simply won the genetic lottery, when in actuality, it's hard work and strategy. Now, again, this is absolutely not cap because these 5 strategies that I'm sharing with you are backed by science. They are tested, studied, and tried. And they've done wonders for many people in this community and beyond. So with that being said, let's stimulate your hair growth, reduce breakage, and optimize your scalp health for beautiful hair. Hey Z-Stars, what's good in the hood of the Proverbs? It's your girl, Zara, popularly and lovingly known as EfikZara. And of course, I'm back with another video. Now I'm going to help you grow your hair. If you've been struggling, I have all the answers for you and I don't want to waste your time, so let's get right into the video. Of course, thumbs up if you want me to keep making videos like this. Share this video with your friends or your loved ones who are struggling with growing their hair and retaining their hair's length. Comment down below, let me know what you do to grow out your hair, and last but never ever can be least, subscribe and turn on those notifications so you know every time I post a new video. Please also watch the ads all the way through so I can get this AdSense coin. With all of that being said, let's get right into this video because I know you're eager to know exactly what you need to do, and I guarantee you, these are tips that you've never heard before. Number 1, stimulate blood flow to your scalp every single day. This is because it delivers oxygen and nutrients to the hair follicles, keeping them in the anagen or growth phase for much longer. The more blood flow that your scalp receives, the stronger and thicker your hair will grow. It will be well rooted in your scalp, resilient, and very difficult to get rid of. Now, some of the scientifically proven ways to actually boost your blood flow include minoxidil, a clinically proven vasodilator that has worked effectively for millions of people to help regrow their hair in various types of hair loss. Derma rolling, which creates micro-injuries that trigger blood circulation and collagen production, as well as your body's natural healing process. Scalp massages, which enhance the blood flow to your scalp by relaxing your scalp and the muscles around it, as well as exciting the blood vessels in the region. And of course, exercise, which gets the blood pumping throughout your body. Now, the 3 things that you can do daily from this list are the minoxidil, the scalp massages, and the exercise. And if you have to do only one, I would choose either the minoxidil or the exercise. And if I had to rank them in order, I would choose exercise because that's really good for whole body wellness. Then I would choose minoxidil because nothing can compare to minoxidil when it comes to vasodilation. And then after that, I would choose scalp massages. Because even though scalp massages mechanically enhance blood flow to the scalp, again, nothing can compare to minoxidil. And since exercise is really phenomenal for your entire body, it's ideal that you do participate in some form of exercise on a daily basis. Now, the derma rolling, of course, you cannot do every day, but you do need to stimulate your blood flow every day. So pick one, please. And if your hair loss is on the more severe part of the spectrum, then definitely get your hands on some minoxidil, please and thank you. If you're skeptical or concerned about the effects of minoxidil, you can actually stimulate your blood flow naturally with natural vasodilators. These include pretty much everything in the mint family: peppermint, spearmint, wintergreen, which is probably a bit too potent. You want to be very careful with that. Menthol, rosemary, eucalyptus, thyme, and so many other herbs. So those actually do naturally dilate the blood vessels anywhere you apply them to, so they're a great alternative to minoxidil. And actually, in my recipe Bible, I have plenty of recipes that feature these beautiful essential oils and herbs because they are extremely potent. And before I started trying out minoxidil for you all, that was what I was using exclusively, and my hair is still thriving as a result of that beautiful foundation. So please be sure to check it out. All the people that have reviewed it, all the people that have purchased at this point, I don't even know how many thousands of people have purchased my digital products. I've lost count. So please join us in this beautiful community, this beautiful family, so that you too can have thriving hair, holistically and naturally. My recipe Bible is linked right here in the top right corner, so be sure to check it out. I can't wait for you to see it. If you'd like a discount for all of my digital products, then please be sure to check out my Ultimate Hair Growth Bundle. There you will see my Holy Grail, my Recipe Bible, my Scalp Compendium, my calendar, my Chebe Remedies book, Oil Renaissance, and I think that's pretty much everything, but it's really comprehensive, and you will have a super well-rounded regimen, not just for your hair health, but also for your body health. I'm so excited to continue to share that with you all. And again, over the several thousand people that have bought my digital products, they definitely can't be lying. So check it out. Let me know what you think. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. If you already have any of my publications, please drop a pink emoji down below and tell me what you think of what you have. My hair growth bundle is also going to be linked in the top right corner. Be sure to check it out. You can see the discount up there. It's 30% off. That's an absolute steal. And you're getting all of my digital products for a much cheaper price. Be sure to check out these reviews that you all see appearing on the screen so that you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that the several thousand people that have become a part of this loving community can absolutely not be lying. Now let's move on to the next thing you absolutely need to do if you want to optimize and maximize your hair growth. Reduce your scalp inflammation, please and thank you. An inflamed scalp leads to shedding, weaker hair, and an overgrowth of harmful microbes. If you have androgenic alopecia, you might actually have an excess of malassezia, a yeast that can worsen hair loss. Though it's naturally occurring on the scalp, if it grows out of control, it can have a significant impact on how your hair grows out of your scalp. Now, here are some proven ways to fight inflammation. Ketoconazole shampoo. Now, it's one of my favorite ingredients, and it's really been a savior in my hair story. I can't even begin to tell y'all how much ketoconazole has saved my life. And I won't get too much into it here because I have a few videos on the topic, which I'm going to link in the playlist in the top right corner so you can check it out yourself. But I did have a really severe scalp fungus some years ago. And I also had one when I was in New York doing my master's program. So I've experienced this twice in my life. And the second time, when I had access to this ketoconazole, it really cured my issues. Now, of course, when I did have the fungal issue, I was indeed losing my hair. That's the persistent pattern with that type of inflammation. So if you are experiencing hair loss, don't just chalk it up to your hormones, to stress, because it might actually be yeast or another type of fungus that is ailing you. If you suspect that might be the case, please consult your dermatologist. Even if you don't know what's causing your hair loss, you have no idea. Consult your dermatologist. They might be able to offer some really potent insight so that you can start these targeted treatments with more awareness. Now, digression aside, another thing that absolutely changed my life were herbal treatments. So those herbal treatments, even before I knew ketoconazole existed the first time, that was how I healed my fungal infection. That was how I regrew my hair. That was how I created the most pristine scalp environment. Now, I know I've gotten really serious because I'm really passionate about scalp health in particular. And of course, this is reflected in my Scalp Compendium, my 160,000 plus word publication on scalp health and having a life that supports your scalp health, right? So that's going to be linked in the top right corner. You guys, please check it out. I put my heart and soul into it, and everything that I've learned over the decade and a half plus that I've been carrying my natural hair on my head, I've poured into that particular publication. I absolutely cannot wait for you to see it. But many of the herbal treatments that I use to heal my scalp are actually inside that particular book. I made use of cloves, I made use of oregano, I made use of rosemary, thyme, eucalyptus. Again, because these are very potent and have really potent antifungal properties. Because of that, they also help to reduce inflammation. They're also a bit analgesic, which means they help with the pain and with the inflammation. So all of these properties rolled into one beautifully packaged herb straight from the beautiful mind of our creator have really done a number on my scalp and have given me this luscious, really thick, really dense, happy hair that you're seeing before you. Now, of course, beyond these treatment measures, you need to prevent. And how do you do that? With a balanced scalp care approach. Avoid products with super drying alcohols and harsh surfactants. Now, again, that can be a bit subjective because it's not everyone that has an issue with surfactants. I mean, I love me a good sulfate shampoo, period, because your girl greases her scalp. I grease my scalp. I put oil on my scalp. I started using minoxidil in the beginning of January, so I really need a shampoo that's going to get everything off of my scalp, unclog my follicles, and ensure that they're prepared to grow the most beautiful hair. A healthy scalp equals strong, thick hair. If your scalp and follicles are not obstructed by debris, by bacteria, by the dirt and grime, then your hair strands have the potential to be the thickest they genetically can be. And did you know that scalp massages, which we touched on, of course, in the last section, actually have the potential to kind of stretch your follicles and create room for thicker strands? I bet you didn't, but now you do. So again, all of these things work together to create a beautiful environment for beautiful hair. But before I go off on too much of a tangent, let's move on to the third one. Never ever sleep with wet hair. Please and thank you. It's a fungus magnet. Sleeping with wet hair is one of the absolute worst things you can do for your scalp and your hair health. Not only is wet hair more fragile and prone to breakage, a warm, damp environment also creates the perfect breeding ground for bacteria and fungus, and that is absolutely not it. Now, I know we touched on fungus briefly in the last section, but beyond just being a menace, it leads to so many scalp issues, including but not limited to dandruff, which is believed to be caused by excessive Malassezia yeast, though that's up for debate. Folliculitis, infected hair follicles, leading to scalp pain and shedding. Tinea capitis, or ringworm, a fungal infection that can cause patchy hair loss. Now, these are just a few of the types of fungus or ailments that can take control of your scalp if you sleep with damp hair. One time is more than enough for you to develop these kinds of problems, so please, 120% never ever recommend it. How you can protect your hair is dry that hair completely before bed. Now, I prefer to air dry because I do my hair during the day, so there's more than enough time typically for me to go to bed without my hair being super damp. Now, to be fair, it does take my hair maybe a day or two to totally dry completely, but it's not damp nor is it wet. It's just a bit moist to the touch. Never so moist though that it can produce mildew. Also use a satin or silk pillowcase. This reduces friction and helps you to retain hydration. Apply a lightweight leave-in or oil to protect your strands. Now, if you're going to add the leave-in as well as the oil, make sure that the leave-in, you're not too generous with it so that your hair's not damp when you're going to sleep, you feel me? Use just enough to ensure that your hair is rehydrated and re-moisturized, you feel me? Now the key takeaway from this section is this. Wet hair and a warm pillow equals fungus. And that is not cute. Don't say I didn't warn you. Scalp inflammation too. Let's avoid that, please. My brothers and my sisters. Let's avoid those things. Now, number 4 is my favorite and probably my best kept secret of 2024 because I literally experimenting with this fully in the beginning of 2024 and I've seen the benefits. And that is Chebe for length retention. Not on the scalp though, on the length of your hair. Now, if you want longer hair, your issue might not even be your scalp. For a lot of people it is, but if that's not you, it might be retaining length from the ends. If your hair appears to stay at the same length, then you're probably experiencing breakage. So let me give you a little anecdote. I know a lady, she was getting her hair colored every 4 to 6 weeks because her hair was growing out fast. But every time she would color her hair, literally it would still be at her shoulders by the time the stylist would finish. And she was like, dang, my hair's not growing. And the stylist was like, sis, your hair's definitely growing. Why are we having to redo your roots? It looks like you might be experiencing some breakage. So now this stylist employed quite a few holistic techniques, and as opposed to being like, okay, well, just hydrate your hair and moisturize it, because this woman was already doing that, she suggested to her, why don't you try this? There's this really potent herb. They grind it into a powder and make a really beautiful paste out of it. And it's called Chebe. The Basara Arab women in Chad, they use it to retain their hair length. Now this stylist, being the well-versed woman that she is, went into detail and further highlighted that she knows that the Chebe works because she's recommended it to a few of her clients, and beyond that, they only use this product on the body of their hair. If it didn't work so effectively, why is it that the body of their hair is growing out, but then the front pieces of their hair where they don't use it refuse to grow? So now, of course, that got her client thinking. Her client was like, interesting. Now, according to the stylist, her client went home, did her research, and said, mamas, I need to have this Chebe, you got some. So, of course, your girl did have some, and she immediately gave it to her. Now, within the span of 5 months, she was able to retain about 3 to 4 inches of hair. Now, I did mention to y'all she was getting her hair recolored every 4 to 6 weeks, which means she had a lot of rootage. By the time that 4 to 6 weeks was up, that should tell you how quickly her hair was actually growing from her scalp. She just wasn't able to retain it, but the Chebe totally changed her life. Now, as the stylist was telling me this story, I was like, wow, it's crazy. I need to try this myself, but I'm not trying to use a paste. So what brilliant way can I incorporate it into my own regimen? Now, of course, as your infusion queen, I had to do my research and figure out some of the most beautiful oils, butters, greases to use in conjunction with the Chebe. And I did just that. But before we get into exactly what I used, why is it that Chebe works? Now, the Chebe itself is from a plant called... But that's not the only herb inside the Chebe powder. There are other herbs that also aid in the retention of hair. So this mixture together strengthens the hair shaft and prevents breakage. It also helps to keep hair hydrated for days on end, reducing snapping of the hair that is related to dryness. It also protects against split ends, helping the user to retain more length over time. Because if your ends aren't damaged, you don't really have to trim your hair. Now, Chebe is not for the scalp. I repeat and I repeat and I repeat. It is not for your scalp. It has the potential to cause scalp irritation. Please only use it on the body of your hair. But as for my brilliant pomade, the one that I'm using, which you're seeing on the screen now, so beautiful and so luscious. It's actually in my Chebe Remedies book, so please be sure to check that out in the top right corner. I put a lot of love into this, and I've created several beautiful recipes that show you how you can incorporate Chebe into your regimen in every way. It's probably one of my favorite publications because beyond the fact that the recipes are fire, the book itself is so beautiful and I'm obsessed with the illustrations. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have the opportunity to learn significantly more about Chebe. I can't tell you everything in this video because this video is so much more than Chebe, but I do hope that you check that out. Again, it's linked in the top right corner. Please be sure to let me know what you think, and I can't wait to hear from you. Drop a purple emoji and some comments if you definitely will be copying that particular publication. Now, number 5 is something that I harp on in almost every video, and if you know me well, please guess what it is before I say what it is. So some of you probably guessed grease, and you would have been close because I harp on that a lot too, but no, this time you're wrong. It's actually nutrients. Fix your nutrient deficiencies that obliterate your hair growth. Please and thank you, my goodness. Even if everything that you're doing is correct externally, nutrient deficiencies can slow your hair growth and cause excessive shedding. The most important ones to watch for are vitamin D, which is really essential for follicle cycling. Low levels are linked to excessive hair shedding. Be sure to pair it with K2 for proper absorption and to prevent calcium buildup in the scalp. Calcification is not cute, y'all, so let's be responsible with our supplementation. Iron is critical for hair growth, especially for women. It's really necessary for the formation of hemoglobin for your red blood cells, y'all, so you need you some iron. Low iron is linked to chronic shedding and thinning hair, which is not cute. B vitamins, biotin, B12, folate, niacin, they're so essential. They help with keratin production and cell turnover. Low B12 especially, and you vegetarians and vegans, I'm talking to myself here, can lead to brittle and slow growing hair, so supplement with your B12 if you know you're not getting it from an animal source. Please and thank you. Zinc regulates scalp oil or sebum production and supports follicle function. Deficiency in it can of course increase your hair shedding, y'all. Protein is also really important because not having enough of it can make your hair weak and prone to breakage. Your hair is made up of keratin, which is a protein. Get you some while you can, please. I beg of you. Now, y'all, nutrients are super important, and I've only highlighted a few. If you want a really comprehensive video on nutrients, drop some red emojis in the comment section down below, and I will provide that for you, as well as the supplements that I take myself. But because I love y'all, of course I'm going to put a link to my Amazon storefront in the description box down below, or just link to specific items mentioned in this particular video so that you can actually get on track and grow out your hair. These things that I've highlighted here are pretty much everything you absolutely need to grow your hair effectively. Remember, growing your hair isn't about one magic product, it's about a consistent, targeted routine that you can stick to. That routine also has to be well-rounded, which is why I've provided you with this comprehensive one. It's really straightforward. So let's reiterate really quickly, just so things are very clear for you. Stimulate your blood flow daily. Even if you don't have access to minoxidil, you can at least exercise and touch your scalp. Please and thank you. Reduce inflammation. Even if you don't have access to ketoconazole, those herbal treatments are more than enough, especially oregano. And I have some videos on a lot of my herbal treatments linked in a playlist in the description box and in the top right corner. So be sure to check that out, please and thank you. And of course, in my publications. Avoid sleeping with your hair wet, please. It creates too many issues, with some of them not having a solution. Retain your length with Chebe. If length retention is the bane of your existence, then this will definitely change your hair game. And of course, my publication, which is still linked in the top right corner, will show you exactly the kinds of recipes you can utilize so that you can get the best out of Chebe without the mess. And then of course, if you're not going to eat a well-rounded diet, which I recommend that you do, please at least take your vitamins. It will make such a huge difference. Now, if you want a complete regimen, again, please check out my hair growth bundle. I can't shout about its praises enough. You might think I'm just trying to sell you something, but no, I really believe in it and I can only talk so much. It has changed my life because, doing the research, learning everything that I've learned over the last decade and a half plus regarding hair and the scalp has really changed my outlook on how I take care of my hair. And that's why my hair looks like this today. So with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which particular tip was your favorite. Let me know what you didn't know and what you learned. I'd love to hear from you. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Thank you. Ta-ta for now, bestie.